Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I just almost hit end broadcast. I was trying to go to comments and I almost clicked on end broadcast. That would not have been fun for anyone out there or for myself. Hello and welcome, everyone. And welcome back to the Call to Action Network. Hanging out here, me, you know me. It's your girl, Danny Joy, hanging out with Megs. Hello.
What? Yes, this is awesome. It's always so much fun being on screen with you, my girl.
Yes, I'm so excited. It's so nice to have you on and be a part of the crew, Megs. You've been a delight. So thank you for joining me on this happy Tuesday. My days have been so...
I had to ask myself last night, what day is tomorrow? I do this so many times throughout the week. I'm like, why do I even bother?
The only way that I can keep up with what day it is with knowing what shows come out on HBO now, so...
Oh, well, yeah, we have to find something.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because every single day there's a Schmodown match that's coming out, and which I think are going to slow down soon. We're coming towards the end of the first round. We are in the last half of the first round, and this match is on the right side. That's the opposite from where you're looking, but it's on the right side of the bracket. Yep. And this was one of the matches that I was very, very much looking forward to.
Absolutely.
And that is Paul Oyama versus Marisol McKee. Megs, let me know how you feel about this match. How did you feel about both of these players? Paul Oyama, Marisol, coming in from the fan leagues. Paul already kind of establishing himself, got a belt his first year, and Marisol as a new fan league player coming into this, Megs. How do you feel about all of that?
I was super excited about it because kind of tagging on to something that Shannon said during her first match was Marisol came in as a rookie but played like a veteran.
Yep.
And I feel like that was a very similar way to how Oyama came into the league. He was a rookie, but he played like he was a veteran of the league. So this is almost like Paul coming up against a younger or not as seasoned version of himself. So I was really interested to see how this was going to shake out because, yeah, Paul has had a little bit of a up and down with this particular season, but we know that he has the ability to get to the top. And Marisol, it seems like the sky's the limit at this point because she came out so strong and with such confidence.
Yeah, and she doesn't really have anything to lose. I think that's one of the fun things about these rookies coming into this year. Marisol and Adam Collins, James White, and coming up from the fan leagues and coming into this. So I think that I completely agree with you on that part. I think Marisol doesn't have anything to lose, whether she wins or loses against Paul. And I think that Paul does have Paul doesn't have a hill to go up on, and that's not saying anything against Marisol. I think we all know that Paul is a very good player inside of the Schmodown. He just really had a bad shakeup at Spectacular last year with Ben.
Right. And I mean, even the idea of like he played decently well against Roke, it just wasn't quite enough on that day. So, something that I always like to do when I look at statistics is I will try and take out the outlier. I consider Spectacular an outlier for him. That's a match that is not necessarily to be put on as a ultimate blip on his record. I think he's going to move past that this year. And he has definitely with teams as well shown that he's still a very formidable player.
I agree. I'm so sorry. Prince, come here. My dog is about to wreck shop in here because he's trying to get on top of the bed. Brandon, Jeff, I see you all inside of the chat. Thank you so much. I know that you all are heading out of here because you all have your show coming up in just a bit with your reactions. So please go check out Brandon and Jeff over there on their channel whenever you get a chance. We're only streaming right now because we're trying to get ahead of Schmobates. Because Schmobates is here on Tuesday. So if you're watching this back, go back and watch the Schmobates. It is a, oh man, I already forgot the theme.
It's Rockstars, right?
Yeah. We got it. It's Rockstars theme. So go and if you're watching this on the playback, go and watch that Schmobates match tonight or on their playback because it's still going to be great.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so back to Marisol and Paul. Again, this was definitely a match that I was looking forward to watching. I think that they're both very knowledgeable players. Even though we haven't really seen Marisol too much, I think that she gave us a really good introduction. And what's that damn saying? I was trying to think of it right now. First impressions, something about first impressions. You only get one. You only get one.
Yeah, you only get one for
And Marisol had a good one. So I think it was pretty interesting. I'm going to bring this up. I love the rules. I love the rules. So does everyone else, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and start. Oh, that's not where I was going to. Just get out of there. Sorry.
And something that I found interesting is with her is Marisol specifically is her confidence, the way she approaches the game, and it's shown here in this match definitely because and spoiler, we've both watched this match already, so we're gonna completely spoil it. So FYI for anybody. But there is, even when she was down, she still managed to have a good poise about her. You could tell she was a little bit shaken, but not enough she still played smart.
I think that's my favorite thing about her personality is that she seems so chill that I didn't get that she was shaken too much at all. And I think that that's going to be interesting to see her work with, because it still kind of seems like she's in a shell, even though she like, that's such a weird contrast, because it does seem like she's in a shell, but I do feel like I see nothing but confidence coming from Marisol. So I think that just might be part of character development and getting that character work inside of there.
Right, absolutely. Because she is supposed to be just the matter of fact, this is the way it is type character. And she comes across that way. But then also she knows so much that she can just have that little bit of an air of, yeah, I got this.
Yeah. What do you think of her nickname, Lady Justice?
Lady Justice. I love it. The whole blindfold thing it's a unique bit. I know Roka uses it occasionally, but she has consistently used it, which is very, very neat to see.
I loved her intro video when she came in and she said, "It's a great day for a schmodown."
Yes.
I loved it.
Yes, that was awesome. And I know Christian mentions it. Her handwriting is amazing. I love it.
I do too. And I said it like as soon as I saw her post up on her whiteboard, I said it out loud, and then I was just like screaming, laughing whenever Christian said it during the match. I thought it was funny for me.
Yeah, it's just so funny because I know he inwardly gets a little annoyed when he has to ask someone to wait, keep that up there. Is that really what and you don't have to do that with her. And
because it's caught handwriting has caused a bunch of drama inside of the Schmodown. Like there's infamous times throughout the Schmodown where we've seen someone like the Jane Fonda thing, and even something as simple as I know the Alba thing is spelling, but like the whole thing of it. So
right.
Shout out to people with good handwriting.
And yeah, I notice if I write in all caps like she does, it is more legible, at least on a whiteboard situation.
Yeah, I'm very accustomed to writing in all caps. Whenever I have to do work for my big girl job, I have to write on poster boards.
Yeah.
So a lot of it's much easier to write in all capital letters. So I'm very used to doing stuff like that. So I like it when people write in all caps.
Yeah.
That's also why I'm the caps lock button usually stays on.
Yeah. So this is the one that she misses is in crime in this one.
Yeah.
And I think she even mentions in the post-match of how she had it originally and went back on it, which I think that's the only time I've seen her make or that it's been acknowledged that she makes that kind of mistake, second guessing herself, which happens to even the most seasoned vets. So
and I feel like that's a good a good thing to have in a rookie match like this, going to someone like Paul. Like let you have those experiences so you can learn from those experiences and learn. Girl, just go take from your gut, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely,
and stick with it. But
and it's interesting. I'm wondering kind of what your thoughts were on her when we get into round 2, kind of her deliberation on whether or not she was going to stick with her original spin or not. I kind of have, I'm not quite sure what to take from that as far as how she was really feeling about it. And I mean, when we get there, we'll kind of talk about how she manages to play the round, but just interested on kind of your thoughts on how you felt that deliberation went with her and Shannon.
I think that we'll talk about it whenever we get there too. Sorry, I love Emma Thompson. That's one of my favorite actresses. I'm losing my train of thought. I'm so sorry, everyone.
You're good. I'm just plugging away here. Let me see. See, there's Jeremiah Morat. Jerry's in there. A couple of you guys are hanging out with us. Thank you.
I know. Hello, everyone. I did not. Sometimes I play along like inside of my head and try to remember like, some of them. I don't remember how well I did, but I do know that I knew that the last few of them I knew, and I was very proud of myself.
I'll say I don't recall doing when I was working through stats and everything. I don't think I did extremely well on this one. These didn't have quite as much in my wheelhouse.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely would have lost the match, but
yeah, well,
I was proud of myself.
I'll say, yeah, I'll say, I did know which franchise this question was from, but I missed which one it was. I was thinking just the original instead of the third.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as I saw Jack Black's Poe, I knew exactly which franchise we were in. But
yeah, exactly. I think that, I mean, I think that's a good tell for the question. I think anyone who's
I'll say you would know that it was the Kung Fu Panda, but maybe not quite sure which installment it was. You would have to know that Ling Chan was in the third one only.
Right.
Stuart Gordon directed Jeffrey Combs in what 1985 horror film based on an H.P. Lovecraft story?
I like that question.
It's a good question.
Sir, 1 point. So
I love the questions that have come out this season. What a good job to the question writers. They've been doing such a wonderful job with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I am going to...
Do you want to speed ahead just slightly, maybe?
Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, you know what? I keep forgetting that you can probably still hear my audio on that. Can you still hear my audio for the round?
Maybe barely. It was really low before.
Yeah, not so much anymore. Hello, we are back. So, you know what? I am going to pause it. Okay. I'm sorry that I'm all flustered with everything today, y'all. My bad. So, round one between Paul and Marisol. What an interesting round. So, Marisol did not do bad in this round at all. She missed one question. Mm-hmm. What a great showing for coming in, especially against a player like Paul. Paul did what I expected Paul to do. I feel like it's kind of tough for a player like Paul at this point because he's still so new into his Schmoedown career that it's almost a shame that I don't know how other people feel about it, but for me, I expect Paul to always do well in everything that he does. I'm way more shocked when he doesn't do so well, and I feel like that puts a different type of pressure on players. Do you see Paul as that type of player as well, or do you still feel like Paul is kind of a player that is going to fumble a little bit?
So we've seen him fumble more so in single play than we've seen him stumble in teams play. Teams, he's a lot more solid, at least in first rounds. And Winston mentions it in between rounds that it is his first perfect round in singles, though he's had perfect rounds in teams. So I think he's definitely still, I always consider him a very strong, yeah, Jerry, we were just talking about that idea. I always see him as a strong competitor. Again, I definitely consider, thanks, Brandon. I always see him as a very strong competitor. And again, that spectacular match is just a fluke on the record in my books for him. But yeah, I would have been very shocked if he got less than 7 in a singles round.
Yeah.
That's where I see him as kind of his norm.
Yeah. I was about to say, man, even 7 feels like it's kind of low, and that's just missing two questions.
Right.
But I definitely think Paul, in my opinion, is of that caliber of player that I very much expect to do well. But I think that Marisol very much held up her own. I think it would be interesting to see her in under the lights, in the studio match. I can't wait to see her do something like that, because I think that she will do very well in that situation. So
yeah, and that shows with kind of just the confidence air that she shows on air. I think that'll translate well into studio or live event play.
Yep. Okay, so I'm going to bring this sucker back up. Boop-boo. And then
yeah, so I'm not surprised that Oyama decides to defer here. I think that is generally his go-to there. So,
hello, Alex.
Alex.
Loving Alex.
We all love an Alex.
Do, 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 do. I like this Paul, like this sort of nice, humble, like I like that Paul. I liked his character with Primetime. I understand the all of the bad stuff behind it and everything that happened, all the drama that happened last year. So I loved the way that he retired the character. Like whenever they did that little thing and he just rested the jacket and the sunglasses.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy that, because it really did feel like a retirement of that character, and allowed for Paul to have that space to be someone different without people going like, "Oh, who's this new person?" So,
yeah, I think they set him up very well for that. I love the dynamic that both Shannon and Winston have with all of their players.
Me too.
These two are definitely some of my favorites as far as, Koi's amazing. Most all of the managers this year have adapted really well to this format.
I think why Shannon and Winston stick out so much as opposed to someone like Roxy and Dagnino is because they're new managers, and same thing with me. Like the relation, you can tell that they have a relationship with their players and that they take it seriously. So I think that that's important to see, and I think that we can all see it really stand out well when it comes to these newer managers, because they're just playing the game so well. Good job, y'all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
This was an interesting. I was having a little bit. At first I was pretty sure that she definitely wanted this slice and was just kind of playing a little bit, but the more I'm thinking about it, I don't know how much of this was really them gamesmanshipping here, or if she really was really on the fence about it.
Yeah, I feel that's such a great thing to point out, Megs, because that's a strategy now.
Like, it is. That's absolutely, because you know that this is going out there now. Because we saw in the beginning where the managers and the players were talking to each other online, and we got a real conversation. And then we started to see this weird switch up where we started to hear code words, and we knew that there was like this secret language that some of them were using with each other. So you're right, Megs. What if that is a strategy? What if it was a way to? What if competitors and their managers are using
that sort of gameplay. I love the idea of that.
Yeah. Well, and honestly too, like she plays this round very well. She, like as far as she doesn't give away anything.
Mhm.
She has to check down a multiple choice 3 times, but it pays off for her because she gets them all correct.
So I do have some feelings about this question right here because
Okay.
I feel I knew the answer to the question, but when I said the answer, I said New York. That's where I said New York, and then I was like, oh wait, would that be counted as the correct answer if I just said New York? Could you argue that I didn't say New York City?
Because it asked what city
Mm-hmm.
does it predominantly take place. That's very true. That's an interesting thought of if you could challenge that and what they would, because you can say you were asking for the name of a city, and I said New York, implying that it is New York City.
The city, yeah.
But it is specifically called New York City, so that would be a tough one.
I love making up challenges inside of my brain. It's exactly why I'm single at 30.
I don't know.
I don't know Nora Ephron that well. Apparently, is what I found out.
I'm not as familiar with their work either, so it's fair.
Here's something from Alex right there. Seriously think she was on the fence, to be honest, because it's a risky slice.
Mm-hmm.
It's very true. It makes me think of Rachel Silvestrini spinning away from Nora Ephron, wondering if she should have taken it.
Yep, absolutely. And yeah, those really specific slices can go either way.
Alex says she can't hear the match at all, so I'm going to fix that.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
I can hear it a little bit.
Yeah. Alex said that sounds better. Let me know.
From TV's Friends, co-stars with John Travolta and
Jeremiah Morris in the chat.
I'll say, if it's you just get a batch of tough questions, it's what happens. But again, I have no problem with how she played that. She knew to check down to multiple choice and not risk it, because looking at Paul, I could tell he knew those questions.
That's also something that you got to think about in strategy sometimes, and especially going against someone like Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you're just barely on the fence, if you don't know for sure if that's the right answer, it might be better safe than sorry to go for that multiple choice, just in case, to not give those points to Paul.
Yep, absolutely. And you don't know what he's going to do if he ends up with a slice that he doesn't know as well and has to do the same thing. You don't lose anything. It just so happens that what he spins and what he takes.
If anyone knows me, I was screaming as soon like, listen to how fast he says yes to this, like, or whenever he gets it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
he does get that extra spin there.
I was just hoping that we would get the same.
And there it is.
So what do you got here? Spinner's choice. We're gonna go with Stanley Kubrick.
No hesitation, went straight into it, and as soon as he said Kubrick, I was like, let's go! Let's go! This is one of my favorite categories. I love to hear the questions from Kubrick, especially because I don't feel like we get it very often. The only other time that I can remember was Dan taking it once, and then I know that there was another time, but I can't remember. But Paul,
I think Dan's had it twice.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's Dan who got it. Maybe Dan got it twice, and I can only just remember.
Yeah, because I think what had happened is he ended up with it one match, and then he got a spinner's choice and said, "Well, this one did well for me before, so let's take it again."
Mm-hmm.
If I'm remembering correctly.
Nuclear, bam! Paul's gonna win the whole thing playing like this. I agree, buddy.
So him pitching the game like this, he keeps that up. It is definitely possible.
Have you ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
Full Metal Jacket? No. I know of it, but I haven't seen it.
It's a rough one. But I do enjoy it. I don't know why, but I do really like watching that movie. I love Barry Lyndon.
Oh, okay.
Woo! I love Barry Lyndon. It's slow. It's a slow burn.
Some of those are, yeah.
I got one question wrong. Which one was it? That one I got right.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, that's it's more of a context question, but it's popular enough that
Yeah, like I think even I do think that is a tougher question. Like I feel like that's probably like a 3-point question, but I do think for anyone who has seen the movie, that's an easy question. But
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it or don't remember it, I think it's easy to forget what it is. I said 2. I said 2 for Peter Sellers on this one.
Okay.
And I still can't think of what the third one was. So I have to go back and watch that movie because I absolutely love Doctor Strangelove. I haven't seen it in a long time. Anyways, I loved that round. Paul,
I'll say perfect, no hesitation, just blazed on through it. And I mean, at that point, you can't. If you're Marisol, you're looking at this like, you know what? I did my best, but he just pitched perfect. So it is what it is.
Jerry always on Paul's side.
Yes, he is.
Very true, Alex.
It's nice to see when they don't, especially in round 2, they don't necessarily pull those super obscure movies, because that's more of I would save that for the 3-pointer or 5-pointer, those super, especially from someone that.
Yep. I like what Patrick's saying right here. One thing I like about Paul is that he doesn't fake trying to figure out an answer. He answers immediately when he knows it. And I agree.
I'll say, yeah, he takes his time, but it's because he's cautious. He's not necessarily stalling per se.
Yeah. I think that's the type of confidence that Paul has when he knows something. He knows that he knows it. And I have full confidence that he knew those questions.
Yeah. And it's like, and to kind of play on, it's his time is prime. So let's keep it moving. Love Winston.
Love it.
So cool.
I thought this was so funny.
His banter, I love it. And I like Shannon and Winston have good back and forth between each other. They play off each other very well.
They do. But I like what they did with this round, where they were more complimentive of each other than they were competitive with each other, and that's what I really liked about it. It's very cool.
Yeah, there's definitely a level of respect. Shannon has given some of the best mid-round pep talks.
I feel like but also she has experience in that because she's been with Mike for a while and helped Mike go through that epic run. Excuse me.
Oh yeah,
that he went through before she was a manager. She knows how to talk to people. I think that she put herself in a good position being a manager because she had all of that sort of background knowledge of being a supportive person for someone in high pressure stakes, that she just knew how to work with that with other people. So
yeah, and from what I see, like her personality is very much she's like that. She's just brush that off, move forward. Yeah. She doesn't dwell on stuff. She just takes it and moves on.
I like that Marisol took her time with this.
Yes. I knew it only based on main lead. I hadn't seen this one, but it was a high profile enough movie that
it said lead. So that was, yeah, I haven't seen the movie either, but I feel like, Brad Pitt, right?
It's like, yeah, of course it's that.
Here is your question. Adam Sandler plays a plastic surgeon that goes on a trip to Hawaii in what 2010's film?
Just go with it.
That's correct.
I got that one wrong.
I'll say I didn't know this one. I had a oddball guess, but I don't think it even had Adam Sandler in it.
Was that the one where he played the hairdresser?
Which one?
But I knew that was Zohan. Return of the Zohan. Is that what it was?
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't
That
think
was
so.
what I was thinking in my brain, but I was like, that didn't come
Yeah.
out in 10. But I also don't know what year that movie came out. I don't compete.
2 points and reclaim solo possession of the lead. Adrian Lynn directed Jennifer.
We did have a question from Stardrum. What our favorite Brad Pitt movie was? Ooh,
It might be. What is my favorite Brad Pitt movie? That's a great question.
It is a very good question.
Do you have one, Megs?
It is either Mr. and Mrs. Smith or Ocean's 11.
Oh, yeah, those are good ones. I'm trying to think of something.
Like those are the big profile, the ones I remember watching on repeat the most. I mean, I'm sure there's other really good ones of his that I've seen, but those are the two that I remember rewatching the most.
Now I want to look through and just pick one that I know for sure that I watch over and over again.
There's always Troy.
I did not know it was Troy. I did not know the answer to this question. I did not. And I watched it, and I liked it.
Yeah, I didn't. I'm not as big of an early DC because Dread is DC, right? Or is
I
that
don't know. I didn't even. I knew that it was a comic book movie.
Right.
I don't know like whether it's DC or Marvel. But when I watched it at the time, I wasn't even thinking about it as a comic book movie.
Yeah, I feel like Dread's DC, but I could be wrong.
Someone in the chat will let us know.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I like she took her time with this, using everything. I think she does leave one repeat. But if she didn't think she was going to pull anything else.
I did not know this answer. Dread is DC.
Okay, so my initial instinct was correct.
Just go with it. Was with Jennifer Aniston.
Yes. I feel like I want to get that one mixed up with. For some reason, I think Hawaii. I think of Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which is not even Adam Sandler, but that was like the first movie that pops into my head. I'm like, wait, it's not even Adam Sandler, so put that one away.
But like, how much do we really need a vampire puppet show? Like, gonna need it in my life at some point.
Yes.
Really gonna need it. I did not know Brad Pitt was in Happy Feet 2.
I guess I didn't either. I guess the only people I think of, I remember of note was with those is Elijah Wood, and then Robin Williams was in the second one.
I remember
first one or second.
I don't remember. I only saw the first one.
I used to be so bad at knowing who voiced or played who until I started following Shimoda, and then it's like I started picking up more on it. Ask me context questions about movies I know, I'm golden, but
I am gonna shut this sucker off.
Yeah, go for it.
We're gonna do that, and then good face, Winston. Good face. Gonna move.
Very good face.
Alrighty, and to answer Starju's question, my favorite Brad Pitt movie is Seven.
Very good choice.
7. Yeah.
Yes.
I blanked on the movies for a bit. I knew that there was one movie that I watched with Brad Pitt over and over, and for some reason couldn't pull 7, but it's 7.
That is a very strong pick.
Yeah. All right. So Paul and Marisol, wonderful match. Marisol did not get TKO'd or KO'd, which I think is a wonderful.
That is good.
Yeah. Super good. She played very well. Oh, you know what?
I'll say if you can come out of round 1 not getting KO'd or TKO'd, I think you're still a solid showing.
Absolutely. So let's bring this sucker up, because I think that if you all look at the top right-hand corner and look at that accuracy and that PPE percentage, I think that is absolutely something to talk about. And I think we got a good person to talk about it on. So Megs, let me know how you feel about that. 100 across the board, a perfect game, did not miss an opportunity or to capitalize on anything, or he took advantage of every opportunity to get as many points as he possibly could. And it's just crazy that in the past,
within the last month, we have had 2 perfect games, which is just phenomenal for the league as a whole. But definitely, Oyama played this game well deserved. I mean, absolutely nothing against Marisol either. I mean, an 86 overall accuracy is absolutely nothing to scoff at. Her potential points earned is a little bit lower, but that's only because of her checking down to multiple choice, which from a gameplay strategy standpoint, I can't necessarily fault her for that. And then also missing the 5 does bring that down significantly as well. But again, those 5s have definitely been tough this year. So I was definitely impressed with her performance. Nothing for her to hang her head about. It's definitely for a second appearance in the league proper. I'm definitely looking forward to what she does in the future.
Yep. I agree. And I think it's very interesting what you're saying about the percentage and the game strategy, because sometimes people look at percentages and that's their Bible. That's what they're going to go by. This is how they're going to judge players. They're going to judge them on their percentages. And sometimes the percentages don't necessarily tell the whole story of the gameplay.
Absolutely. And that's something that I've loved about getting into stats for this game, is because I do look at the numbers, but I also am a big enough of a fan that I can look past that and go, okay, what's the story behind these numbers? What is really what's going on here?
I also just want to point this out because everyone's also letting us know that it was not a DC property. It is a British independent company. That's cool. Cool. Megs and I are not your comic book.
We're not comic book nerds. No, I love comic book movies, but I am not as strong in the source material.
Yeah, sorry, but there are plenty of other people that you can definitely go to for that.
Yes,
just not here. But that was a great showing for Marisol. I'm super pumped for her, super proud for her. Corruption I don't have the stats, or I'm sorry, the listing for where the factions are now, but
I'll say I did throw something together. Let me just see if I can pull it up for my on the fly here. So as of right now, it looks like So it looks like the
level 2 being a heel in the chat. I see you.
Oh, goodness. So Corruption now just has 2 people. Collins will be going up against Roka later on this week, so we'll see what happens with him. And then Chance Allison is still in there. Swag now has Lon Harris, Liz Shannon Miller, and Oyama, only losing Moran. Yep. So I believe as of right now, Swag has the most number of people still in tournament play right now.
Nuclear Band letting us know Swag and Quirky Mercs both have 3 players in round 2. That's pretty good.
That is good.
That's a little epic showing right there, especially with what's going on with some of the other factions. So I think that's going to be interesting to see what's going on in round 2. Big shout out to Swag, drip baby. You know where I stand on that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can really my go-to if you want me to not shut up.
Both of these, absolutely.
Yes.
I will talk shop about this all day.
Absolutely. And if you want a subject where I will not shut up about, it's actually A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones. Like that.
Okay.
Like
not as big into the books, but I'm definitely very interested in the story. I didn't watch the show consistently, but I love those intertwining multiple storyline type shows. Just so intriguing. The storycraft is incredible.
Yeah. It's if you grew up watching novellas or daytime drama shows and stuff like that, then you'll definitely be into Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, because that's all that it is. It's wonderful. It's epic. It's beautiful. I love it. Anyways, what else can we say about this match, Megs?
No, something else. We're good. The sun's far enough down, so I'm not getting blinded.
Before we went live, Megs and I were talking about our strategy for trying to keep the sunlight out of our spaces.
And mine today was a piece of cardboard across the window. So which just now fell. But the sun has now properly gone down, so I don't have to keep it up there. So it brought itself down.
Yes, absolutely.
Joys of on air.
Yeah, it's better when it's live.
Absolutely.
It's
Oh,
better
it's so much
when
fun.
it's live. All right, Megs, do you have anything else to say about this match?
No, just like big shout out to Oyama for pitching a purely perfect game. And big shout out to Marisol. She did an amazing job for her sophomore appearance, and definitely looking forward to what she does in the future in this league.
I agree. I am definitely with Megs on this. Big shout out to Marisol for making her sophomore debut inside of the league. That's wonderful. Girl, I think you're going to do well. I have had an opportunity to chat with Marisol. She came onto the channel and broke down her match one time, and that was a lot of fun. So go back and check that out as well. And I knew that this is what I expected from Paul. I didn't expect anything less from Paul, and I'm so proud that he got that 100%. Sweet baby Paul. I've been a big fan of Paul Oyama since he started, so I wish him nothing but the best going for this. I do hope that he does very well throughout this season. There are a couple of other people that I would want to see win this, but Paul is also up there in my little sprinkle of people who I want to see take this all the way.
It's going to be interesting seeing him go up against Snyder too. That is his next a rematch, essentially, not in championship format, but a rematch from last season. So mentality going into that will be very interesting. Yep.
Well, before we head out of here, Megs, do you have anything that you want to plug for us?
Nothing big. If you want to catch me on Instagram or Twitter, you can see my socials down here, Megs_reclaimed. I will have all of my breakdowns posted there, as well as you'll find all of them also posted on the Facebook page, as well as the faction Facebook pages. So check them out.
Yeah, and you know me, y'all. You can find me on Twitter at DannyJoy, DANIEEJOY. You can also find me. I'm finally starting my own stuff. Please go and find my YouTube channel. Just search for Danielle Ramirez. I'll leave a link somewhere. Follow me on Twitter, and then you can find my link there. Follow me at Watch the Book Pod to get updates on my book club that I'm starting. It is the Padawan Book Club. I will be going live on my channel tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time with the introduction for the book club and all of that good stuff. So if you need some more info, hit me up on that and keep an eye out on my socials for there. And make sure tonight you all come back to the channel. Schmobates, it will be on a special day. It will be coming up what time at 9? What time does it start, Megs? Do you know? I'm so sorry.
I want to say it's 8 or 9.
It might be someone in the chats will absolutely let you know for sure what time Schmobates starts tonight, and go and check that out. It is a Rockstars themed, and we're all very pumped about that. So
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that is all good. Well, that's going to be it for us, for Megs, for everyone at the C2A channel. Thank you all so much. We love you, and as always, we salute you.